Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to see how we can deploy our Lambda from the Visual Studio. Last video we have created that one Lambda function, right? So from the AWS. So that same Lambda we can deploy in AWS, and how we can deploy that using the Visual Studio. So that we are going to see today. So let's get started. We can see how we can going to deploy that. So in Visual Studio you can see we have created last time one Lambda. I will add the
I
link
have
in the
added one
description regarding the how we can create first Lambda. So you can refer that video there, so you will understand how we can create the Lambda in a Visual Studio, and same Lambda we will deploy in AWS in today's video. If you can see here we have same Lambda, and in AWS Explorer we can see the AWS Lambda. There is nothing in currently because we don't have anything in a Lambda, AWS Lambda. So just go in the Solution Explorer, right click on the C# project, and here we can select publish to AWS Lambda. After clicking that AWS upload Lambda function, screen will open, and here that function name and all we need to define here. So which name you want to create on the AWS, that name we need to define here. So let's add here a name for our Lambda so that you want to deploy on the AWS. So I will add here first Lambda, and then I will just add the description here as well, like created first Lambda, and click on the next here. So here if you can see for our Lambda we need to select memory size and timeout. So in how much time it will take for the execute that particular Lambda. So by default it is a 30 seconds, and here we can select roles for our Lambda. So here under our role we can select that AWS Lambda basic execution role. So it will provide right permission to cloud watch logs, so that we can going to select here the role, and after selecting the role just we need to click on the upload. So once we click on the upload, it will start uploading that Lambda on the AWS. So it will take some time for that uploading because it started the deploy this same Lambda on the AWS server. Okay, so the Lambda is published there. So automatically that one window is came here for that Lambda whatever that we deployed. So here that sample input you can pass here. So there are some templates, and just below that there is a box, so under that also we can pass. So for in our case we need to pass the user detail, so we will pass here id 1, and same way we can pass here name colon, and then we can pass here name like AWS Lambda, and just click on the invoke. So it will start executing that Lambda, and that output you can see in the response, it is came in a capital, it's AWS Lambda. So this is we have deployed that Lambda on the AWS. Okay, so let's close that, and if you can go inside the AWS Explorer, you can see now able to see that first Lambda that we have created under the AWS Lambda, and previously it was not there. So we will check that same Lambda on that AWS console here on the browser, and we can select here on the search like Lambda, click on this Lambda, and here we can see that whatever that Lambda we have created, that it is created, and we can see that it is a first Lambda. So how we can invoke that and how we can test that on the AWS, so that we can going to see that. So just click on that first Lambda, and here if we can see that it is a all overview related that Lambda. Okay, so under the test here you can see this tab. So here we can test our Lambda. So for that we need to create one event, and in the event we need to pass our body, request body. So under our request body what we have, so currently id and name I have. So we will pass that id as a one there, and we can also pass the name, and that name we can pass their test Lambda, and that next key where we can delete. And this is our two request parameters for our Lambda, and just we need to save this event, and here we can pass the event name as a test Lambda, test hyphen Lambda. We can pass that event name and just click on the save. So after click on the save we will click on the test, and that Lambda is executed. Now you can click on the details there, so you can see that output for that Lambda, it is in caps, and it's test Lambda. So this is the Lambda actually we can test on the AWS console as well, and that whatever the Lambda we have deployed from the Visual Studio, that is it is deployed on successfully. So if you want to edit that saved event whatever that request, so that request we can change here, and again we can save, and if you can click on the test again, that output will be changed. If you can see there test Lambda, again it will came. Okay, so that is the about Lambda, like how we can deploy using the Visual Studio on the console and how we can add this. So that's it for the video, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel for upcoming video.